Welcome to the Scale Builders Guild. Hello. Welcome. I think we're working. It was a bit dodgy there for a minute. Not going to lie. Yeah, I think I have internet now. So, yeah, I should. I pay a lot of money for it. Welcome to the Scale Builders Guild. It's What's on the Bench live, a year in retrospect. We're going to be taking a look at everything that I've kind of built over this year. If you've got questions, comments, suggestions on stuff you want to see, I'm going to move my monitor over a little bit closer because that makes it easier for me to see everything. Not look so far over to the other way. There we go. That's better. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, I hope there's audio. Mike, let me know. Yeah, it's Tuesday. It's the end of the year. I can't believe that this guy has gone by so quickly, because it has. It went by very, very fast. What is that thing? Well, that was one of the first builds that I finished in 2021. This is a 6x6 Jeep Cherokee. It's real. Someone made one of these. This one is an SCX 10-2 UMG 10. That's where it started. There's been some significant changes, obviously. It's a 6x6 Cherokee. This was built, the body was built by Turks and Jerps, or Pardon My Noob, as he's known on the forums. He's also got a YouTube channel. You should definitely watch it. He does a lot of amazing stuff like this. He's also responsible, I think, for the shortest Cherokee. So there's that as well. Yeah, what can I tell you about this? I mean, sort of the idea of this show was sort of to go through all the things that I built this year and just kind of put them up here on the bench, and maybe even some stuff that hasn't been finished yet, and we can take a look at those as well. Will this go on your wall of orange trucks? No, Josh, that's you. Although I do have like 5 orange trucks. Why does that feel like you finished that years ago? Good question, Sean. I started it years ago, it seemed anyway. But it's done now. Yeah, it's really hard to tell where the seam is. Oh, these Vanquish mats are no good for turning things around. Ugh. Everything wants to stick to it. But yeah, it's really hard to tell. There's a little bit of seam work there where you can see where this thing joined up. Oh, and the drive shaft popped, as it usually does back there. But when Richard built this, I was like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to put this body, and I pre-disconnected it so it would be easy to take off. I want to put this body on a UMG 10 6x6. But anyway, it's got like, there's an interior, some bits of an interior in there. And, yeah, I wanted to try to keep most of this sort of intact, but you'll notice it's a bit higher, taller, whatever you want to say there, than a typical UMG 6x6. And that's because it's got the RC four-wheel drive portal axle kit on there. In addition to that, let me just put this drive shaft back together. It's driving me crazy. There we go. It's also got beef tubes modified axles. And what Dan did for me here was he took RTR axles, because these are the RTR axles that come on a UMG 6x6. And he added his brass tube inserts so I could use the RC four-wheel drive portal kit, which is only for the kit style axle. So there you go. I used Scale Metal Supply's fabrication bits to make these metal sliders for it. And what's the other thing that's different about this truck? Well, it's running Spectrum power. It's got one of the Spectrum brushless kits in it. What KV rating is this one? 2100. This is the 2100 KV brushless system with the Firma, I don't know, 60? Is that the 60? I don't remember. Yes, it is the Firma 60. There you go. Beef tubes. It's what's for dinner. There's also some 3D printed inner fenders for the Cherokee body that I found on Thingiverse. So there you go. That's the whole thing. And then I made it so it uses the SCX-10.3 or SCX-10.2 hidden body clip doodads underneath there. These wheels are from CC Hand. They're the actual Jeep Cherokee wheels that you can get. Come on. What did I do wrong here? Usually I know how to do this. There we go. Slide it in. And on it goes. These are the Jeep Cherokee stock wheels. There you go. The Rockfield was asking about those. And that's what they are. The tires are the Milestar Patagonias from RC 4-wheel drive. They're 475s, I think. Well, that looks short. These are 4.19s. Huh. There you go. What do I know? Nothing. Nothing. All right. So, yeah, if you are in the comments, you have questions about specific vehicles or specific things that I did this year or anything that you want to see on the bench, let me know. Was somebody asking about Spectrums? Yeah, this is a censored crawler setup. So, Firma 60 and the 2100 kV censored brushless motor. Yeah, there you go. I'm quite pleased with this. Oh, there's a license plate on it. I forgot about that. 6x6. What's happening? Here we go. I haven't driven it yet. Despite finishing it this year, I just never got around to driving it. I kind of like it. Awesome build, but there are no buts. I did not get 6x6 badges. It's still rocking 4x4 badges, which is comedy. It's comedy. What happened to the TRX6 speed build? It's back to its normal state as a regular everyday TRX6. Because I was going to, Josh won that one, so we're going to let Josh continue with that project. I don't need to go on that 6x6 running video before Friday. Probably not, Blake. I mean, nothing's impossible. It is extremely inclement weather right now, so. LS Post, that'll come up soon. Thank you, Ryan, for suggesting that one. Will it get used to the point that the beef tubes will be necessary for strength? It wasn't so much for strength. It was for modifying the RTR axles, and that was the only way I could do it. And it worked great. I noticed you don't paint any door lines or hood lines on any of your models. Is there a reason you don't like the thin Sharpie look? Realism with that is in the eye of the beholder. I tend to not think it looks as real as it could. It depends on if it's done well. Tamiya, where is that stuff? That's surface primer. That's not it. Where is it? I don't have it handy, but Tamiya makes panel line paint. It's basically a wash, just a thicker wash, and it'll quite easily. Is Hemistrom watching? What was I going to say? Yeah, panel line stuff. Sometimes it looks great, sometimes it doesn't. It just depends on the application. I don't generally do it. You're right. Sometimes I do. All just kind of depends on the model and depends on how I feel about it. But great question. Thank you for that. Are you going to open a museum? No. I know some of them get driven. Speaking of, here's a little guy that got driven quite a bit this year. The Ampro. Oh my, that inner fender is out of place. I will have to adjust that later. There we go. Perfect. No need to adjust later. Fix now. I do tend to try to drive all my stuff, but this one included Ampro Tamiya Sand Scorcher. It's Ampro because it's an entirely different chassis. I printed this on the Prusa, and as you can see, it completely replaces the existing. This is all bent out of shape. It's going to drive me crazy. There, that's better. All right. So it completely replaces the existing chassis and gives you room for a full interior, which this car now has. I also added Night Customs scale motor on there, which I think looks phenomenal. And I believe the tires are on the right way right now. It might be on backwards. Who knows? But this was a blast, just a total blast to build. And I love how it looks in pictures. And if you are familiar with this build, you know that this whole livery was based on a real Sand Scorcher Beetle that exists in Oregon. The license plates match everything. So yeah, definitely a fun build. And highly recommended. If you're going to do a Sand Scorcher, I think this is the only way to do it going forward. You have to get the Ampro engineering kit to swap it and make it a full-on scale build. I got to go through the comments a little bit here. Oh, it looks like I'm dropping a few frames again. Hopefully that pops back up. It's all over the map, man. Hey Matt, I'm really wanting to get a 2021 TRX4 Bronco. Could you show us the Pro Scale lighting and winch? I could. I don't have any wheels or tires on that truck right now, but I could definitely show you some stuff on that. That was something that technically did get worked on this year. Not a build per se, but it is done. It's a truck, that's for sure. Let me see if I don't know if I have any Traxxas batteries charged up right now either. Little of the come hither motion to get that body off. I did a whole live stream on connecting the light kit to the Bronco, so that should be pretty self-explanatory. You can go back and watch that video for sure. Battery. It's a 4S battery. Holy cow. Here's a Traxxas battery. I don't know if this will fire up or not. We shall see. There we go. That lights. Camera action. It's a great light kit. No denying that. Get in there. Okay, good enough. So headlights, you get actual headlights, all of the marker lights and everything, and the tail lights, which look amazing. This is a really great light kit. In my opinion, probably one of the best light kits of the year. There was an award for light kit of the year. It would go to this one for the Traxxas Bronco because it looks so killer. As for the winch, that just plugs in. I've kept all the stock electronics on this because it makes it easy to use all of these things. Winch comes with this, and might not be connected. So I don't think I had the Y cable yet. Come hither. You see here. No, I didn't. So you'll lose the lights for a moment here, and we'll fire up the winch. Hopefully. Yep. It's a good quality winch. It's got a plenty big motor in it. It's much larger than most of the other scale winches on the market. Oops, did I suck in the... Did. Anyway, yeah, so there you go. Good quality winch. Hope that helps you. Hemi-Storm does great body lines. Yes. Oh, good point. I can actually show you body lines on the Hunavan, because I did those by painting Lexan on the outside. Just traced all my lines with a very sharp blade. And, yeah. All right. Let's get this guy off the bench. I'm trying to think in the order in which things occurred. I'm pretty sure after that was done, I think it might have been the LS Post that got finished, which is a spectacular truck. I love this truck so much. There's a lot of cool stuff that went into this. Westmade obviously did the body and paint and the interior. I put it together. That's all I did. Let me answer some questions while you guys stare at this body and truck for a moment. Justin, to glue printed bodies together, I just use CA glue. Just regular everyday crazy glue. What else here? Panel lines look good on a heavily patinaed body. Yes, they do. Hi, Westmade. How are you? Tamiya panel line. Oh, see, now I'm catching up with comments. Tamiya panel line works. I have to be careful applying it. Yes, a little goes a long way. Definitely. Show the Toyota camper truck. I'll show that later. It's not a truck I built, so not really fair to say that I did because I didn't. Luxor's Catch built that, but I'll definitely show it off later. Beep, boop, beep. Can you say that 2 times fast? Ampro. Ampro. You have to do panel lines on a Lexan body because there's no depth. Yes, many hard bodies have depth, which you see the shadow. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I did the pro scale lighting and winch. Is audio cutting out? It might be you. Try refreshing your stream. I think I've been dropping a few frames here and there. That might also cause it. Enjoyed the top builds and top trucks of 2021. What's your favorite aftermarket item of 2021? Aftermarket item. Gosh. Actually, I know what I'm going to say for that. It's a scale item, and I'll get to that in a little bit. Just keep it up here. Traxxas made both installs very easy. Yes, they did. Did I park on the bad side of town again? Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to find a new wheel tire combo for that Bronco that really makes it look good. I've struggled with that. So I'm still I'm auditioning still. What's the actual name of the Toyota camper truck? Somebody knows what it is. I can't remember it. Brian Sherwood, thank you very much. New Christmas plaid? No, I bought this shirt. I didn't get any clothes. Actually, I got pajamas. I got buffalo plaid pajamas. That's it. Is there a bad part of town in Toronto? Yes, there is. Lights look incredible. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for that. Winch is good quality, plenty of torque. Yeah, for sure. I love the 21 Broncos. Winch is plenty strong. What did you call my girlfriend? Yeah, a lot of people say wench instead of winch. It's definitely winch. Noob question here. Oh, I love noob questions. Where'd that go? It just popped off. Oh my God, I'm so far behind. Holy cow. I just got an XCS10-3 and bought a hardtop Jeep Wrangler with those doors, etc., but noticed that the chassis is a little shorter and wider. Can I extend the chassis? Yes, you can. But you might have to extend it yourself. I can't remember, but I think the SCX10-3 is at its longest when you get it. I can't imagine any of the bodies being longer than a 12.3 wheelbase, though. Do the blinkers blink when you turn, though? You can set that up to do that. It doesn't do it automatically. That's on the Traxxas kit. Pele, hello. Did you see the new 3D printed Volvo C303 bodies? No. Pele, message me on Instagram. DM me, Scale Builders Guild, because I would get one of those in a heartbeat. I've got PayPal money waiting. I love 3D printed anything, and especially Volvo bodies. The next live stream takeover should be the Scalies. It should be. It probably won't be. I think we'll do the Scalies in the new year. Totally off topic, but when was the last time you worked on or drove your Marlin? Well, we can talk about that in a second. Let me get through this, and then we'll show some other stuff off. So Westmade did this body, the LS Post. There is the LS Mail, and there is also the Italian Post, which I think is almost done too. This is a VS410 Pro, or was it just the chassis kit? No, it's a Pro. And what I ended up doing was chopping about 2 inches or 3 inches out of the front and the back, and then shortening the whole thing so I could get the dimensions that I wanted. It's supposed to have a pretty extreme overhang, as you can see. There's a lot of tire that goes beyond the body and chassis, so this is obviously not any comp class legal. But it is a pretty good, accurate representation of the LS Mail, just in the Canadian garb. I think Wes absolutely nailed it on this body. It looks so cool. Lots of vacuum-formed styrene, which is pretty unique. And this truck just performs. It just works so well. It's not very heavy up top, despite being scratch-built and styrene. It's pretty lightweight because it's mostly vacuum-formed. And there isn't much of an interior in there, right? There's a couple of seats and a man and a dashboard. And that's it. Yeah. I kept this one pretty chill. It is 3S LiPo capable, but brushed 35-turn Tekin motor, BXR for the ESC. I don't remember what servo. Oh, a T440 servo from Tekin is what's in there. And then to top it all off, I did one of these bend and braze scale metal supplies front bumpers. And these things are a really awesome thing. You should definitely consider this for your next build. It comes flat. You bend it, you braze it, you file it, and then you can prime it and paint it. I left it raw because I liked the look of it. I thought it just kind of looked a little bit more like foam fab, and it suits this truck really well. So there you go. That's LS Post, another amazing build, courtesy of Westmade. I am thrilled that I have this. I do have that other Westmade V-dub that is in serious need of getting finished. But that's sort of on hold for other projects. All right, what's next? Let's bring this guy down. Oh, not another Jeep. Oh, man. It's another stupid Jeep. I'm sick of Jeeps. Another Vanquish truck. I was working on this one for a while, it seemed. And finally got around to finishing it this year and actually taking it out and driving it. It was one of my favorite running videos of the year, actually. All right, let's go through the comments here. Any update on the Gatekeeper build? No. I'm still working on it. I haven't done anything with it. There's been so many other projects and other things and the holiday season and everything. Got away from me. You'll have to be patient on that one. I'm lacking motivation to get started on it, if I'm honest. Hook up and drag it. No. I think you're talking about the winch. Too late. Can we see how you mounted the Taco Bell Grande to the chassis? No, because I sold that truck. I got an offer I could not refuse. It's been gone for a very long time. I don't even remember when I started that series. I thought it was last year. So that one's long gone. But essentially, 2 body posts, and then you trim the inside of that body, and then you could put pins through it, and that's basically it. It's just like Proline intended. Got some money to spend on RC, X-Max or SCX6? Well, do you want to go fast and jump, or do you want to crawl? Because they're entirely different. Battery's already out of the Bronco, thank you. I love the face you make when you get it out. What do you mean by that, Wes? Oh, you're the best. I love it. Oh, man. Harley should do a What's on the Bench, but how do you show 50 plus RCs that he's working on? Good question. Hey, is that Dr. Meemer? Love it. Last question. Is your 1-to-1 rig all kitted out? No. It's a stock Rubicon. But our stock Rubicon will do pretty much anything you want it to. The real LS Mail and the RCs are so rad. I agree, Logan. How are you? Is that a rope winch? Yes. Will there be vendor booths at Scale Nationals? I have no idea. I've never been to Scale Nationals. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. What does your wife think of your RC collection? She approves as long as it stays mostly in this area or in the basement. Sometimes I put them up on the dining room table and be like, look what I built. Look at this. She's like, that's cool. Put it downstairs. Welcome, Dan. Thanks for checking in. I finally caught a live stream. Happy days. I'm coming in so late. What motor do you have in the Post Jeep? I answered that. 35-turn Tekin Crawler Pro motor. Jeep is so badass. Yes, thank you very much. Looks like the Busted Knuckles rock bouncers. Well, there is a LS Mail. If you look up the LS Mail truck, that is... Oh, are you talking about this one now? I don't know. Audio and frame's good, thank you. Would you please turn the truck around? I want to stare at its ass. Is it this one? You want to turn this one around? I can do that. I hope that's what you wanted to see. It looks better from this side anyway because of the tools and stuff on it. This, real quick, let me just scroll ahead here. Oh, did I miss a... Oh, John Roberts, thank you very much. Oh, it looks like I may have... Is everything running okay here? Can't tell if it is or not. You can lengthen an SCX-10.3 to Gladiator length with rear rails and fenders and adjustable between 12.3 and 13.9. Yeah, if you're using the Gladiator fenders. It looks like this is brought to you by Jeep. Hey, Patina guy. Hello. How are you? Everything's going still. So, I mean, my screen is frozen, but I assume everything's going fine. So seem to lag almost a full minute. Yeah, because I'm so far behind on the comments, but I'm caught up now for the most part. Harley needs to do a what's on the floor. I saw chicken nuggets on Instagram today, and I don't see ABG. What a bummer. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. All right. What tools on the side of this Jeep looks so real? Well, these came with this Jeep body. This is the Dragon body. It's a 6 scale. It's not a like Hasbro or G.I. Joe. It's a static model that I've converted to RC. Underneath is a Vanquish VS410 Origin, of all things. This is the original truck. I built some 3D mounts to mount this body to this chassis, And that's about it. Changed the link length on the rear. Didn't sleeve the top ones because I was super lazy. And what's on the floor? I feel attacked. And also, this has a prototype Vanquish VFD transmission in it. The original Origin had the 3-gear, which I think I put in another truck. I don't know where that is. It might even be in a box. But yeah, this is essentially a conversion that a lot of people have done. They've used this dragon body, mostly using Wraith axles, which I also think looks pretty good. But I put regular everyday SCX10 with axles under it, and I think it looks pretty darn good. Under the hood, this is probably my favorite part. Under the hood is a Scale Designs by Mr. Comedy Vanquish branded motor to keep up realism for realism's sake. And I also modified the floor to have a full flat floor, so you could use the real size men. Had to change the tunnel a little bit, but other than that, that's it. Yeah, fun little build. Batteries go underneath the back seat, of all places. The music choice for the Willys video made it. Yes, I could not agree more. I was so thrilled when I found that track. It was like magic when all that came together. I was pretty thrilled with that. All right, in order of things that happened, let's skip over the order for now, and I'll show you what I've got planned for the TF2, the Marlin. So this was originally going to be Class 1 at Scale Nationals in 2020. I just get here and Matt's playing with his Willy. What scale is the Jeep? It's a 6 scale. That was a 6 scale Jeep. What 3D printer do you use? I have a Prusa i3 Mark III Plus, which is the kit version. I got to build it myself, and it was an amazing experience. I highly recommend buying the kit. You save a little bit of money, and you learn how it goes together and what you need to do in case something breaks. Which, knock on wood, nothing's broken on that thing. It is rock solid. My favorite printer ever. I also just got an Elegoo Mars 3, which is a resin printer. And in fact, Friday, I have a little resin printing video coming out. So hope you, we'll check that out, because there's a lot of cool stuff happening with 3D printing, especially in the resin world. So, in fact, kind of leads me to what we can talk about with this truck. This was originally going to be Class 1 because it's been pretty modified. It's not much of an RC four-wheel drive Marlin anymore. There's a lot of changes underneath here, notably Curry axles with the JEC brass spring hanger mount doodads. A&M Garage, also got the A&M Garage transfer case flip. So you get overdrive to the front axle. It's pretty aggressive overdrive. It's like 35%. There is a rear, what do they call these? Anti-wrap bars that's installed here. So there's no way for me to like completely shatter these springs in the rear. Clocked the motor basically as low as this will allow, and you can see how low it sits now. It used to be way up here. Now it's way down here. A&M Garage shackle reversal kit with Stinger bumper. This thing is legit and pretty awesome. Yeah, it's a pretty different truck now. It's not really the same truck it was when I got it out of the box. But there's a cosmetic change I wanted to make with the 3D printer. Courtesy of Crawl NYC. You can look him up on Instagram. It's Crawl NYC, all one word. He's making up all of these ridiculous grills. This one says Jeep on it, which I think is going to look really good on there. It's pretty funny, and it'll be a nice replacement for the stock grill. I'm going to lose out on the headlights, probably the halos, but you know what? It is what it is. I like the look of this. I think it's pretty awesome. And that was printed on the FDM. That's on the Prusa. And it looks pretty good. It's not bad. It's pretty good. It's, for a 3D printer FDM, it's really good. But here's the one I just printed on the Elegoo. And it's dramatically different. It's so smooth. Like it's not even the same. It's a different ball game. It's like we're playing a different sport. Anyway, that's going to go on there at some point. And there's a whole like grill and everything that goes behind it that I haven't printed yet, but looks pretty cool. Yes, I do review water-based resin. That's what this is. This is water-based or water-washable resin. Not water-based resin, but water-washable. And you can give you a pretty good finish. It's a little bit easier to clean up. It's still a pain. That's the one thing I will say about resin printing, is that it's not exactly the cleanest process. Bumper, this is A&M Garage. They make that bumper. And it's completely Sorca Class 1 legal, which is really great. Is the resin print hard plastic or rubbery? It is hard plastic. It's once cured is very hard. That's what she said. I would never use resin for a structural part, though, Logan. Resin's only going to be good for decorative stuff. Like, because it's behind this nice metal bumper, it'll be fine. But if you're looking for structural or stronger, go FDM. Crawl NYC, great guy. Yes. How did I mount those halos? I think I glued them in the housings. I super glued them in the housings, I think, or I used shoe goo. Yeah. And I cut a little tab at the bottom. Yep, I cut a little tab at the bottom. It's really hard to see, but right there's a little tab that allows for the wiring to go out. Right. That's not a Jeep. This is a Jeep. Points at the Toyota. Yeah, exactly. Comedy. For comedy's sake. So, yes, stay tuned for that resin video. It's going to blow your mind. All right. What's next? What did I finish after that? Sorry. Knew that was going to happen. Hey, it's a UMG 10. All right. I'm pretty chuffed by this guy. I like this truck a lot. Scale Garage makes this metal-backed bed for the UMG 10. And it's stunning. I added a little tiny bit of some 3D printed goodness in the bed, just so there was some stuff. But man, oh man, it's such a great piece. And it just really makes the UMG, in my opinion, look a lot more utilitarian, which is what I wanted. 3D printed wheels. This was from an old project that some Swedish guys were doing for a Volvo set of axles, which I wish I still had. I sold those a long time ago. They do offer all the parts to print at home. Not going to be the same at Shapeways. You can still pay the Shapeways prices and get their axles, but this one's rocking Vanquish Curry portals. So at least it's a portal axled UMG 10. I went with their stock wheels, or tires, I mean, which I thought looked pretty good. And yeah. Mitric RC kit's waterproof. That I don't know. You'll have to double check. Yeah, there's been some streaming issues, but I wouldn't. I'm sorry, it's me, not you. Just having some technical issues on my end of things, but I'm doing my best to not drop frames. Nothing I can do about it. It is what it is. I've restarted the computer a few times. Anyway, painted the body on the outside. It used to have that green camo look, but I'm much happier with this. I think this just looks so much better. So yeah, Scale Garage. Let me look him up because I want to make sure I get it right. I always get it wrong. Marston's going to kill me. I think it's Scale Garage Systems. That's probably the best. Yep. Scale Garage Systems. Paul's got it right. Thank you, Paul. How'd you bend the UMG 10? I did that on accident, but it turned out to look really good on purpose. I think I dropped a toolbox on it. So if that's any testament to how strong these are, this is all aluminum. So it's like real. It really is strong metal. I think I've still got it so this opens. Just have to shove these in. How does this go here? There we go. Yeah. Cool, huh? It's so great. Very happy with this. Eastern Bloc fuel tanks are brown whitey. I don't know what that means. Now imagine Matt still keeps talking without knowing the stream went down. Yeah, some people it decides to boot, some not others. It was the Unimog's fault. Anyway, I put a bunch of stuff in there. I glued it all in so it's not going anywhere. Put a spare mount on the back too. Yeah, I'm just like, I really like the look of this truck. I'm happy how it turned out. Turned out to be a lot better than I was anticipating. And I just like that Marcin spent all this time on this aluminum bed. It really does make it worthwhile. He's got some other stuff coming in the pipe. So be sure to keep an eye on Scale Garage Systems because they're going to have more cool stuff. I just love how it just made this truck so good. Oh yeah, and I did stain the wood on the inside too. I forgot to mention that. That is actual wood. He gave me wood. Sorry. I'm sorry. All right. What's next? I guess next on the list, it's not really done yet, but we'll put it up here anyway. Trust me, it gets 16 liters per every hectare of kerosene. It's Homer's weird Eastern Bloc three-wheeler car from The Simpsons. This is one of these Satan Camtech three-wheelers. It's, what do they call these again? Bangers? Playing with his Willie, now he's got wood. After you did the UMG 10, I wanted to do it, and they were discontinued. Yeah, I know. It's because all the cool stuff happens to UMGs after you can't get them anymore. That's how it always seems to go. Anyway, what's left to do with this? Crazy Vaclav's Place of Automobiles. That's KL5 4796. If you need to call them. I put some reflective taillights on there and some stickers and the bug hood ornament. It was stupid. It's not technically the Reliant Robin. It's a Reliant of sorts. But yeah, it does have the Satan motor, which is great. Foam tires. This is going to compete in the 24 Hours of Satan, which shifted into H. Have I rolled it yet? No. It's very stable because it hasn't been driven. Yeah, it's going to be driven in the 24 Hours of Satan, which Josh and I are planning on doing before Axial Fest this year. Yeah, I'm hoping to drive it for 24 hours straight and then go to Axial Fest. That's the plan. I've also done up a stencil of Homer driving that car at that moment. Let's see if we can get that to... you can sort of see it ish. Can it crawl? No. And that's him driving it with his knees up above his... Anyway, that'll go on the Lexan window. That will go in there at some point. And does that actually drive? Yeah, of course. It's a real RC car. Here, I'll take the body shell off and you can see it. You have a locker in the front. No, there's no lockers in this. It's like the simplest car in the whole world. Motor, spur on the axle, ESC of dubious quality, servo for steering, and there is some front suspension and rear suspension too, but it's equally terrible. I wouldn't expect much out of that. Is that Homer? It's Homer. It's not hair. It's just a blue piece of sticker that I use to trim out all the details. I have to paint that still. Anyway, very simple car. Like a pan car, basically. Whee! And that's going to be hilarious to watch. I can't wait for the 24 hours of Satan. 24 hours of cam tech. I forgot what we called it. Foam tires, yes. So that's that car. Oh, why did I make that so hard? There we go. In Soviet Russia, servo turns you. What else did I finish this year? Is that it? Oh. Obviously, VS410 Phoenix, the Beetlejuice mobile. It's hilarious, but cool. Makes me want to remote control old folks' scooters. Mm-hmm. Oh, Curtis, you got a scale garage system bed. Number 12. Wow, he did at least 12. That's great. You keep losing audio when you aren't talking. Oh, Mike. You always get me, brother. I love it. True Boys, hey, how are you? Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for reaching out. I'm glad I could help you. Hope you got those wheels off. Cheers. Happy New Year. Ryan, I did finish the Trekker. That should have been before this. But VS410 Phoenix, everybody's familiar with this truck, I'm sure. I painted mine with teal seats. And I threw on the Night Customs Toyota badge thing there. But I don't know if I like it. I'm not sure. These tires are RC four-wheel drive's Wrangler MTRs. They're Goodyear tires. It's a real tire. And I really like the spacing of the lugs and the quality of the tire and how narrow it is. It's a great tire. It's a highly underrated tire. What KV did I go with? Great question that I will try to answer for you. Rock 412 3600 KV. Sounds about right. So yeah, I put the Night Customs snorkel on there. And this... And I painted up the... Actually, this is the same driver that I had in the Pro from way back when. The nice truck. I love the Phoenix. There is some conflicting reports on how good it is or how worthwhile overdrive is. How useful all the features are on this truck. Those are all opinions. Everyone's allowed to have one. But I think that this truck is definitely the best of 2021, without a doubt. Best truck of the year. Love all the features. Think it works great, especially once you change the tires, because the tires in the kit are garbage. They're garbage. Terrible. But yeah, I'm thoroughly chuffed with this truck, and with all the Tekin electronics in there that I'm using, and the Tekin battery, in fact, it's spectacular. Cannot wait. Hopefully they'll do a straight axle. I would love to see one. Wheel and tire combo on the Vanquish. These are the KMC Roswells and Goodyear Wrangler MTRs from RC 4-wheel drive, 475 height. And I'm using Crawler Innovations foams in there too. Needs a Jeep body like that TF2. Actually, that would be kind of funny if I put Jeep in the center on the grill. Maybe I'll like remix James's file and make it say Jeep. Mr. 5450, thank you very much. Good evening, Matt. Love the show. Helps with the mentality throughout the long days. Hashtag Crawler RC for life. Thank you, and Josh. I'll accept my thank you, but Josh, don't thank him. Gets his head big. All right, so great truck. Really was thrilled. Actually, this is the first time I used on point paint too this year. Man, I love that paint. It works so well. Holds a mask really nicely. Nice, deep, rich colors. Lots of colors you can't get anywhere else, which is pretty amazing. So, all in all, one of the best trucks of the year. I know a lot of people had trouble with those shock spring retainers. I know those were a real pain in the butt. But otherwise, I couldn't fault this truck in any way. All right. Trekker. Let's get the Trekker out. Because I did finish that this year. Oh, this was a fun build. I love this truck. I have a problem with Toyotas. You may or may not know that already. I know it's got the Carolina squat going. That's just because there's no power to it right now. As you may or may not remember, this has the Superscale 2020 active suspension system, which is super fun as. Made this nice little antenna, which I thought looks pretty good. Or is that Scale? That's a Scale. Scale Metal Supplies did that one. All right. Tire foam combo on the Phoenix is great. Thank you. Thanks, Moises Diaz. I'm hoping for a straight axle Phoenix. Agreed. Can you buy those replacement wipers from Vanquish? Yes, but I think it comes as part of a body kit. It's the same wiper from the Pro, Ultra, and Origin, so you should be able to get them. Where did the scoop come from? What's scoop? Scoop. Saving to buy a Phoenix. Hope to get one in the new year. They should have more then, Gene. Is there a tan in the on-point paint? No, but you can make it. You can use their light yellow. There's a light yellow if you start with a spray of their tint. I think they call it tint instead of smoke. And then you hit it with the yellow, like backing that tint with the yellow, that should give you tan. Or something close to it. They've got a gold and a... Wait a second. They've got candy yellow and metallic gold. Not a tan. So that yellow tint, that should work out pretty well. All right. Oh, yes. So, Trekker. Toyota, this is not a regular everyday Toyota. Winnebago, very early on, before the 4Runner existed, took the Toyota truck, which is what this is, and there, hopefully, stay. And then they put a fiberglass rear on the whole truck. So they took everything back from the cab off and built a fiberglass topper chunk truck bit to replace all of that. So this was like the precursor to the 4Runner. And it would have an interior normally, but I had to fill mine up with servos and stuff. I don't know if you can see in there very well, maybe. It's a little dark because I tinted those windows. Will this exceed an hour? It's already been almost an hour. Yeah, I think we'll make it. I think I fixed that problem, touch wood. And oh man, I just broke that hinge. Dang it. Pretend you didn't see me do that. And pardon my noob, actually rotocast this out of resin and gave this to me like, I don't know, 5 years ago. And now it's complete. Super scale 2020 transmission, so it does all that shaking and moving. I've done a ton of videos on this, so you can go check it out. These are Pitbull Rock Beasts in the 155 size, and these are custom or CNC custom wheels. I think that's Greg's screen name. Let me double check that. Sorry, I just got to go into Instagram. CNC custom wheels. Greg made those for me and then Cerakoted them to match the reference truck that I was building this off of. So it's as real as it gets. Oh, I wish that servo would... There. Added my own scale hardware to those. Is there something wrong with your network? Yeah, the internet's sucky today. I'll try to reboot it tomorrow. Rotocast, is that the term for resin printing? No, rotocasting is where you build a mold and then you fill it with resin and then you spin it, and it spins in sort of like every direction to coat the inside of that mold. It's like manual 3D printing. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it, Wes, for sure. Would love to try some resin work. It's just so dang expensive. And like sort of casting stuff like this. Custom metal bumper on the rear. And then my own bumper on the front. And lots of servos and stuff. So I had to bend the hood so it just kind of sits in there. Kind of. It's kind of a mess under there. I had to redo the mounts so it fit. This wasn't really designed for this tiny body. It's really more for Cherokee or any of the Traxxas trucks. But I'm pretty happy with the results. And it looks pretty kick-ass in videos. It looks horrible right now because it's just sitting here. But there, imagine that's what it would look like. There you go. Yeah, we're definitely dropping frames. I'm pretty sure like everything that uses the internet is on in the house right now. So I don't think we'll be going much longer than this. We do have another show tomorrow night, so there is that. And there's only a couple more builds that I got done this year. So what do we got next? How about the Night Runner? That's pretty much complete for now. Yeah. Why is this all flat? What's going on here? What's going on with the suspension? So lots of stuff has changed on this. New paint job. Bunch of Artful Dodgers parts went on to this. Some Method wheels. Or these KMCs. These are KMC machetes, I think, from Vanquish. A Turo Trail Grappler, Trail Blades. Good starter truck. Man, there's tons to choose from. SX10-3, TRX4 Sport. Element Enduro is a great starter truck. Those are all good ones. I would choose any three of those. Resin printer, I've got a Elegoo Mars 3, which is pretty good. There is a 3D printing pen. You can buy those. Any future builds you have going on? I do and I don't. The foams in these are the stock foams and they're absolute trash. So they always look flat, which is annoying. But there's going to be some changes coming to this truck very soon. A whole bunch of new stuff coming. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be pretty awesome. Oh, that's what it was. The body was too high. There we go. That's better. Yeah, Night Customs grill on this one too. Got rid of the body clips and did the whole Night Customs magnet mount system. Roy Falker, thanks very much. Happy times of holiday and year of new and other stuff. Thanks for sharing with us as always. Cheers. Much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you very much. How's the comp truck coming? Good question. Full interior here on the Element from Knight Customs as well. Printed everything on the Prusa. I think it turned out pretty good. I actually might go back and redo the grill on the resin printer now that I have it. Artful Dodger's front metal bumper, which I think looks pretty sick on there. I'll definitely redo the interior headlight buckets on the resin printer too. How did I do that paint job? Well, this was pretty simple actually. I removed all the stickers, masked off this Knight Customs logo. I cut it with my Cricut, and then there's a little bit of stripe pattern on the back there that you can see. This is not sitting properly right now either, so don't pay too much attention to how it's sitting. So mask those off with Cricut templates that I got, and then just sprayed, taped off all the windows on the inside and the outside, and then sprayed it with on-point metallic black. So then what you see under here is the original silver color, and then I sprayed the whole thing with a matte finish, so it kind of looks like it's all just kind of paint. Looks good. Yeah. It's a mini Toyota-a-thon sales event on the bench. There are a lot of Toyotas. Yeah. Sorry, Matt, only getting every 10th word. I'm out. Sorry about that. Opinion on PLA versus PLA Plus. I've never used PLA Plus. I've only used PLA or PETG. PETG is, of course, much stronger, but a lot harder to work with on your printer. Yeah. I haven't printed PETG in a while, though. By chance, can we see the Gladiator, and how much overdrive did you use in it? What gears are you using? I don't think I did overdrive in the Gladiator. I don't usually do that on a trail truck, mostly because it doesn't need it. But here is the Gladiator. It's so funny. I'm not quite done with this yet. There's still more things that I want to do, like finish off the interior, get these things finished. I'm going to actually redo this print in resin as well because I don't want to see any of those lines. Yeah, sometimes you need to just reboot the stream and it'll come back just fine. But this is where it's sitting right now. Spec RC wheels, which I am so thrilled with. I think they look just awesome on there. It's actually the 1552 style wheel. So you should definitely check that out. Lots of CC hand 3D printed parts. I replaced the front fenders with the CC hand ones so you could get the right lights in there. Front bumper, missing the end pieces. Some lighting. I don't know those. I don't think I've hooked those up yet. A little winch in there. Yeah, it's just kind of like what I would have wanted to do if I bought a Gladiator, I guess. And then, of course, the big Curry logo on the side, too, which I think looks pretty killer. My Trick RC light kit. Did I change the motor in this one? I honestly don't remember. I must have. I just don't remember what I changed it to. There is a build thread series. There's like 3 videos on this. I should do a 4th. Just haven't gotten around to it yet. Blind Guy RC, thank you very much. Hey man, how about the Icon build, eh? Yeah, so the TF3, yeah. I think we're going to talk about the TF3 tomorrow night, for sure. Because that is, that's worthy of some discussion between Josh and I think. Lots of Knight Customs parts on here too. And where did I get the bike? That is a Knight Customs Shapeways print, actually. The handlebars are a little bit janky. But I painted this one up myself. I think the file, you can still get the file on Shapeways. But I would love to redo this in resin as well. I think it would look killer. It'd be so much smoother than even the Shapeways version. But this was fun to detail. It's actually based off a GT Fury, so it's the real bike, which I was pretty chuffed with. All of those logos and everything were hand painted. What a pain in the butt that was, too. But yeah, it's a fun little bike, and it is the proper scale, which is also awesome. Looks a little small there because this is basically running 40s. Wes, yes, I do have plans for that V-dub. I think it's going to be a summer build because I got to get these comp builds out of the way. But it's definitely going to get finished, and I've got some plans. I'm going to go stock with it now. So yeah, Jason M., thank you very much. Always learn a lot. Keep up the great work. I will do that. Thank you. I appreciate the feedback for sure. Enjoying the stream with some whiskey. January, I'm looking to finish a TRX4. And gonna do some sort of project build the twin hammers. Very cool. Where did you get the shock oil caddy in the corner? That. How did you see that? Let me get this out of the way. Oh, sick of heavy truck. This shock oil caddy is from Traxxas. Whee! And what I do is I just go like this and I just stop it. I go, okay, we're using 50 weight today. Yeah, you can get that Traxxas.com, I'm sure, or any place that stocks Traxxas stuff. It's a pretty good way to get all the shock oil you ever need. There was a question in here about the J6 body, yeah. So there's the J6 cab. There's the rear part of it. And you'll notice there's a bit of a gap. Mind the gap. This part all printed fine, but you can see it curled, right? So there's a bit of a gap there. So I'm going to try reprinting just this part. This hood assembly would be separate, so I don't have to reprint the whole thing. But I think it was the orientation on the printer, and it just kind of, the bed wasn't heated evenly, so yeah, we'll just reprint that part. And then all of the bed is done too. It's in pieces right now, but that's how that goes together. And see, it's nice. It's a nice short truck. It's 12.3 inch wheelbase. I'll see if I can sort of position it here properly. Tailgate opens, so if you're going for a Class 0 build, you can definitely use that. Flips in there nicely. It's a pretty good quality file for printing. Get it to stick there. Come on. There we go. Close enough for jazz. Anyway, that's what it'll look like eventually. Looks good, right? Fly Sky Noble Pro. Don't know anything about that radio. I'm sorry. Can you buy the Night Runner with solid axles? No, Caleb, you cannot. Sorry, just reading through some of these comments here. What's the best? Sorry. Would you recommend Great Hobbies? I don't know. Is that a Canadian store? I'm only familiar with Canadian hobby shops. But I don't think I've ever been to Great Hobbies. Remember, first dibs on your Class 2 ticket if the border closes. Yes, Brian, for sure. What's the best paint for doing interiors? I basically use Vallejo Model Air for everything. It's for airbrushing. It also brushes on nicely too with a regular brush. What kind of paint do you use to paint on PLA? You can use anything. Once it's primed, you can paint it with automotive paint if you want. That's what I use. Heat and bend it. I thought about that, Tony, but I'm not sure I want to do that. I'd rather just reprint it if I can. Because bending it, and then I'm just going to have to fill. I want to avoid filling if possible. Best glue for 3D, question mark? For this sort of stuff, I just use CA glue. It works great. It's a beautiful two-door truck like Jeep should have built. How do you organize all your builds? Clear totes sounds like a really good idea, Wes. I just mainly put them on the floor in a box and hope that that's going to keep everything together. That's what I do. This is Prusa Galaxy Silver, and it is great. It looks like bare metal, basically. And that was my intention. Make it look like metal underneath. So when it scratches, it's perfect. Will Tester's body filler work? I don't know. I've never used it. I just use, what do I use? Where's my glazing putty? Use Bondo. Glazing and spot putty. That's what I use. But a little goes a long way. Sand as much of the detail work into it as possible. That's a much better way of doing it. Oh, you meant the wood. No, this is not shock oil. This is paint. These are for Vallejo bottles. They fit perfectly in those holes. I got those on Amazon. Great Hobbies in Toronto. Really? Not that I know of. There's a hobby. I'll have to see if there is one. Great Hobbies is Canadian. All right. What's a good material to print RC bodies? You can use PLA, you can use PETG, you can use ABS, whatever you're comfortable with. PLA will melt in extreme heat, so keep your eye on that. What color am I going to paint it? Probably blue, some kind. And I'm getting ahead of myself. Class 2 and 3, I think will just be cab only, and I'll do like a metal caged rear. And then this will be Class 1, sort of, hopefully. Maybe. I don't know yet. After the Tamiya Sand Scorcher build, we consider doing a Kyosho Beetle. Yeah, for sure. I like that Kyosho Beetle build. That's really good. All right, guys. That sort of gets us up to date. The chassis for Class 2 and 3 is coming along. Squeaky chair wouldn't be 2021 without it. That's where things are sitting now for this chassis. Shocks are going to get changed out. Axles are going to get changed out. And then we have to figure out how to fit all of this stuff on there. I think I'm done. That's great. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. It's been fun sharing all of these projects over the last year with you. I look forward to another year of What's on the Bench. I think this is a pretty great show. I really enjoy doing it. And I love sharing stuff that's being worked on. I hope you all have a great New Year's. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks to the following: Brian Sherwood, John Roberts, Mr. 5450, Roy Felker, Blind Guy RC, and Jason M. You guys rock and roll. Thank you very much. The STL for this Jeep, you can get it on Color 3D. If you just look up Jeep, it'll come up. There you go. Good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for Live Stream Takeover with Josh, our final show of 2021, episode 95, I believe. Holy cow. That's crazy. All right, guys. Have a lovely evening. See you tomorrow. Love you. Bye.